Hi, my name is Gideon, and I'm going to show you Bit, an open source project we created to make software composition easy. As software developers, we learned early on that more modular code is better code. Web and UI components, modules, and even utility functions are the building blocks of our projects and applications. Yet, we still spend a lot of time copying and pasting code or installing cumbersome libraries just to gain access to a few APIs. Shouldn't it be easier? Well, Bit turns all the components and modules in your project into a reusable collection in a matter of seconds. Components can be easily discovered and installed using your favorite tools, and can be developed from any project while staying in sync. Let's see how. So let's say I'm working on a team that's developing a few different movie applications using React. Here's the app I'm working on, where every piece of the interface is a React component. Now, I'd love to be able to share these components with my team so we can all use them across our apps. This is typically a pretty arduous process, so currently, my team's components are all internal to their specific applications, just like this one. But with Bit, components can be quickly shared from any repository without changing the existing source code. Once shared, components are organized in curated collections, which makes the components available for my team to find and use in their other projects. They can also get updates and stay in sync. To get started, I'll first initialize Bit in my repository with the bit init command. Then, I can use a simple glob pattern to track every component in my project at once. I'll also specify a namespace and the naming convention I use for my test files. I've also added pre-made environments to build and test my components. You can learn more about this in the docs. Next, I want to share my components to a remote collection called a bit scope, which is where Bit stores and organizes shared components. Scopes can be set up on any server, but to make things simple, I'll create a scope on bitsource.io, Bit's community hub. I'll name it Movie Apps, and I'll also make it private for now. Next, I can version all of my tracked components. Tagging components automatically resolves all dependencies and versions the current component state. Finally, I can share the components to the Movie App scope that I just created. And just like that, the components are available to my entire team. Now that the components are exported, I can check out the scope page to see all of the components I just shared. Let's take a look at the hero component. Bit uses extensions to visualize your components. You can see your components rendered, view docs and examples automatically parsed from the code itself, monitor quality through build and test results, and see the source code. Now, let's say I have a new app that I'm working on, and I'd like to use some of these components in my new app as well. As you can see, components shared with Bit can be installed using your favorite package manager or imported with Bit itself. Let's install this hero component using Yarn. And just like that, it's ready to use. Now I can import the component into this project and render it. Let's see how it looks. So it looks good, but I just noticed that the primary styles aren't showing up on the Watch Now button. To make changes to this component, I can simply source it into my project using Bit. Let's use the bit import command to import this component's source code into our repository. Bit automatically linked all necessary dependencies and made sure to replace my node module with a symbolic link so I won't have to change my source code. Now we can check out the code and see what was causing the issue. It looks like it was caused by a misspelled property. Great, all fixed. Now, if I run bit status, I can see that the component has been modified and it's ready to be tagged with the new version. I'll tag the bug fix and export the hero component back to the scope. By passing the eject flag, Bit removes the component from my repository and returns the component to being a dependency of my project. And there we go. Now the fixed version is available to my team to use in their apps. Now, let's go back to our original movie app project. Let's say I've made some local changes to the hero component within this project, and now I want to merge in the changes from the other project. I can simply use the bit import command to fetch the remote changes, and then the bit checkout command to automatically merge with the latest version. Making changes from different projects creates a faster and smoother workflow for my team to collaborate and share their components. So that was one use case, but Bit isn't limited to React components. The same process works with all UI and web components, node modules, utility functions, serverless functions, and just about any reusable piece of code you can imagine. Bit can also be extended to integrate with your favorite tools so you can build, test, render, and play with your components any way you like. To get started, simply install Bit and export your first components. To learn more, you can read through the documentation or visit the project on GitHub. Hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching.